How's everybody doing today? Can you, testing, 1, 2, we might not even need this. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Awesome. Gonna get a little timer out here. I've gone over in the past, so I'm gonna try to keep myself on track here.
You can go till 10:40 if you need.
I think, okay, cool, yeah. So my name is Seth Coogan. Coogan Productions is my business. I think I see a lot of people I've talked to already. Booth number 1 out there. If you stop by, thanks for visiting. And if you haven't, please do come see my booth. I'd love to chat with you, give you a business card. We're going to talk today about how to use video production to grow your personal brand. So let's see here, make sure I get this. All right, so a little bit of quick background about me. When you make a living taking videos of other people, you forget to take pictures and videos of yourself. So this is me hanging out with a bunch of goats in the Caribbean. I'm a local. I grew up in Fluvanna County. I went to the University of Virginia, graduated class of 2010. And in my mid-20s, I went on a backpacking trip with some friends through Southeast Asia. Spent 4 months in India, Thailand, Bali, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia. And I had a drone with me. I had a little DSLR camera and some lenses and a GoPro. This is back when the social media influencer thing was not really around yet. 2014, drones were brand new. We would stop traffic every time we took off. So we had a lot of really cool adventures. I came back to Charlottesville, where my hometown is, and I said, I want to start a business doing this, and I want to see if I can serve the local community by making corporate video production for organizations in Charlottesville. That was 10 years ago. Been doing it ever since. I've been privileged to work on feature films, short films, commercials, documentaries, and I've worked with a lot of other clients locally as well. I've been an affiliate member with CAAR 7 years now. Had a lot of really cool experiences. So real quickly, just what is the value of video? I'm hoping this is an easy sell for all of you, right? It's 2024. I think if we were to just poll the room, how many of you have looked at on your phone this week a video, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, Facebook, family, WhatsApp chat. I was just sending my grandmother pictures and videos from our vacation. She's 85 and she's sending me videos. So video is important. This is a quick, some little statistics for you from Forbes. 90% of marketers in 2024 have already allocated budget for video production, for video marketing. They plan to continue that same investment or increase it this year. And then I like this little second piece. The best performing content marketing format is video. So what studies are showing is that video is beating out some traditional forms of marketing like print, radio, digital ads that don't have that motion, the video. And so really important. I think it's something we all can be doing, should be doing. So how do we get started? Video is one of those things you know you need to do for your business, like 1,000 other things, right? We're all entrepreneurs here. I think they tell you got to have a website and you've got to do social media. You've got to be out there networking. It can be kind of exhausting. Video production is also notoriously expensive. It can be, equipment all the time. And so it doesn't have to be. What I want to try to walk us through the next few slides is just some simple tips and tricks you can use to get started today, marketing yourself, branding yourself, using video without actually having to hire somebody. I'm going to give you some suggestions, things you can be doing on your own. If you're hearing me say that right now and you're saying, Seth, I don't have time, I don't care how easy it is, that's okay. So these are things that you can delegate. They're things maybe somebody in your team can help you with, maybe an intern. There's a lot of stuff that hopefully is not that hard to get started doing. So some of the things we're going to talk about, popular formats for video content. Social media is like the obvious one, right? We all think about that. I'm going to talk about a few other things briefly. Email shareables, that's just kind of what I call it. We'll discuss that in the coming slides. Real estate property tours, I know that's a big one. So hopefully we'll spend a little bit more time on that. But first, what kind of equipment do we need? How do you get started? This is an Arri Alexa Mini for the cheap price of $100,000. It can be yours. This is what I use absolutely. No, this is my dream camera, maybe someday when I'm in Hollywood. That does not include the lenses. The lenses are another $50,000. You'll need some memory cards, and then you'll be ready to go. Now, I'm going to make it a little simpler. I don't want to hit all of you with gear talk. I love gear. I love cameras, lenses, but that's probably not what you need to be thinking about. So there's a different camera we're going to discuss today. It's a fantastic camera. It does cinematic background blur. It has slow motion features, stabilization. The colors are great. It's easy to use. Someone already guessed it. It's in your pocket. People ask me all the time, they say, Seth, I want to buy a camera. My budget's $1,000. What do I get? Just buy a phone. I'm going to let you on a little secret. If you have an iPhone 14, 15, 16, that camera is going to make better video than anything circa like 2019. I used to do video tours all the time for houses, and I would show up with a big fancy camera. I'd put it on a stabilizer. I don't want to, knock that. I think there is a place for that, but the reality is the iPhone can do that pretty well, and you're almost having the same quality. So it's a great way to get started. This is a little fun comparison. That's the $1,000 camera on the left, the $100,000 camera on the right. Can you see the difference? I'll let you decide. So a few tips. We're not going to get too technical today. I want to try to keep it simple for you. But if I could just make some recommendations, use lots of light, right? These cameras, one thing phone cameras need is a lot of light. They gobble up light. So if you're filming yourself, maybe outside is good. I would avoid like direct sun. It's a little harsh in the skin. But some shade under a tree is good. Maybe get near a window if you're indoors. Extra features. The iPhone is an easy one to talk about. If you open up that camera app, there's literally a mode called cinematic mode. Just use the cinematic mode. If you're filming yourself, it's going to look great. Stabilization and slow motion, those are great for those property tours that we're going to talk about.
Is there like a tool? Oh, you're fine. You're talking about
Yeah, well, no, we'll see. Yeah, what was your question?
like a stabilization tool if you are trying to
So
film yourself?
that's a great question. Yeah, so stabilization is actually built in. It's usually already turned on, but if it's not, you can just go into the settings and enable it. That's going to be great, yeah, for the real estate stuff. Yeah, good question. So a few tips. Let's see here. Just advance the slides. If you were going to buy one other thing, and I don't want you to have to spend a whole lot of money, but a bonus gear tip is get yourself a microphone. So I've heard people say half of video is the audio, right? So if you can get good audio, that really brings the quality of your production up a notch. I'm actually wearing the DJI Mic 2 right now. That's the top one there. These are going to run you a few $100s. You can buy them on Amazon. There's cheaper options. But basically, this is a transmitter. It sends to a receiver. My receiver is actually on my camera back there. But you can literally just plug that receiver into your phone, hit record, and it's not too hard to just get it to sync up automatically usually. And you're good to go, and you have a nice video. You might need to figure out how to use it the first time, but they try to make them pretty simple, so it's not too complicated. So let's talk about some of these videos we're going to make. Social media. What kind of content should you make? Well, anything you want. That's the cool thing. I want to kind of help encourage you to not overthink things today. You are all experts in something. You're having conversations with clients, with partners. People are asking you questions, presumably about real estate, right? I don't know how that all would look, but how do I get pre-approved? How do I stage my home? What is the market doing right now? You get these questions. You're working with people who don't know enough about this. After you have that conversation and you're walking back to your car, just get your phone out. Turn on that camera, minute or two tops, maybe even less. I just want you to talk. You could say, hey, you all, I've been getting these questions today. How do I stage my home so that it can be prepared for a listing? Well, I want to give you a few quick suggestions. That's all you need. And just have fun with it. Be yourself. The search engine optimization that we have today is really just looking for people who are authentic and consistent. So be yourself. Talk about what you know. Keep it short. And just try to do it semi-regularly, even if it's just one little video a week, maybe two. You can upload these to Instagram, to Facebook, to YouTube. All of these platforms now have something called shorts. The idea of short videos is that they're really quick, and when you're scrolling, they just pop up, and it promotes engagement. So real easy way to build credibility. And when someone like me is looking to buy a home, and I see you talking knowledgeably about it, it builds confidence for me to want to reach out to you. So email shareables, again, that's just kind of a term I came up with. A few months ago, I got an email from someone in Charlottesville. It was an organization I'm supporting, and they said, hey, Seth, I want to thank you for your support. Click this little video to basically just see a thank you that we made for you. I didn't almost click it. I kind of thought this is just some generic, canned thing. But I'm glad I did, because when I opened it, it was a personalized message for me that this guy had created in his living room just with an iPhone. He just sat down, he pointed the phone at himself, and You know, he just says, hey, Seth, thank you for what you've been doing. He held up a little sign. It was a whiteboard. Really appreciate you. Had my name on it. He said, I'd love to chat with you in the future. And I actually ended up reaching out and following up with him just because I thought that was such a neat little touch. Probably took him 30 seconds to record that video. He probably knocked out, I don't know, a few dozen of those in a couple of hours. So email shareables is a way to create a message on your phone. And then you can use platforms like BombBomb, I think is one of them. There's MailChimp. So these messages could be directed at one individual if you're trying to build that relationship, but you can also send them out to your entire newsletter. If you have a weekly newsletter, if you have an email list, that's a nice way to send up little updates about the market, about what you're doing. So let's see here, house tours. This is kind of a bigger one, right? Walkthrough property tours and cinematic tours is what I have here. The walkthrough property tours is exactly what it sounds like. It's just you with your phone, and you're just going to walk around that house and explain the features. Hey, everybody, we've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1.5 acres. Check out the kitchen. I mean, you know what those things are, right, that people want to highlight. So this video is probably going to be 4 to 5 minutes, relatively simple, hopefully. Honestly, the limiting factor is going to be the time it takes you to walk around the house, but I wouldn't try to make it too long. And that's a simple thing. Some of you may already be doing this. I know, especially when the world went virtual, we had to have ways to create tours to get into properties. The cinematic tours, that's something, you know, I don't want to say it's the most complicated, but of all the things we're talking about today, this is probably the one that requires a little bit more legwork, but I think it's very much worth it. Again, I used to do a lot of these cinematic tours. Essentially, I would go to a house, put a camera on a gimbal, run around the house for, you know, half an hour or whatever, and I would just take short little 3-second clips. Doesn't have to be long. You probably need 10 to 20 of these, and what I would then do is edit them down with music and logos. You do not have time to do that, and I don't want you to worry about editing. But what you can do is get that phone out. And I actually just watched a video this week. The guy, it was kind of funny looking. He's got the phone, and he's going through the kitchen, just slowly zooming in and out. He's doing like reveal shots behind doorways with the phone. And you would think it would not look good, but it actually looked pretty good. And so then there's a website called Fiverr.com. I use it all the time. There are freelancers waiting for you on this website. Most of them are overseas in cheaper markets, and so they're able to pass on kind of the less more competitive pricing to you because they're not living in the United States. Most real estate video people are working with people like this. The cool thing is you just shoot a few clips on your phone or somebody on your team. You upload them to something like Dropbox or whatever website these freelancers use. Honestly, if you've ever uploaded photos to MLS, you can totally do this. You've got this. It's not that bad. Once you do it once or twice, you'll get the hang of it. And once those clips are uploaded, you go to bed. These people are waking up on the other side of the world. They're going to work on your video. And they're going to add cinematic transitions. They're going to add music. If you want branded, they can put your logo in, all of that. If you want unbranded for MLS, they can go branding neutral. Usually it's 30 to 60 seconds. And they go to bed, you wake up, it's maybe been less than 24 hours, sometimes 1 or 2 business days, but they're pretty quick. And now you've got a nice cinematic video for your listing, and you didn't have to go out and hire someone to go and shoot it. These digital freelancers, they're usually a couple hundred if I had to guess. Sometimes it can be less. But the benefit is you don't have to hire someone to do all that work. Again, if you are really busy, this is something you can potentially delegate. Sometimes photographers will add this as a service for you for a small fee, so you may be able to get help that way. The last thing I want to touch on is the drone. I'm not guessing everybody here wants to become a drone pilot today. I'm a licensed FAA drone operator. But if you're working with a photographer, they're going to be up there already. A lot of times they're going to be flying a drone. They may be able to just give you some of those stills, and you can weave those into the video. Editors can drop those in, and there's already going to be enough motion everywhere else. I think that's going to work pretty well. So yeah, that's a lot about house tours. Honestly, we could probably have this entire session just be about house tours. But I want to kind of keep moving. If this is something that you are interested in, feel free to chat with me. I can connect you with some resources. There are some other people here today who are doing this as well. So I actually don't do a whole lot of the house tours anymore. My business model has shifted more to bigger picture, kind of what is you and your brand. But I still love to talk about it, and I can give you tips and suggestions. Yeah. So final thoughts just on the topics we've been discussing. Keep it simple. consistency is more important than being perfect. Sometimes perfect can be the enemy of good, right? We can put this pressure on ourselves. What do I say? How do I look? How do I sound? And it's like analysis paralysis. And it makes it harder to get started. I like the analogy of going to the gym. I used to be a fitness coach, and sometimes we would say, I can't go to the gym, I'm not in shape. I got to get in shape first, then I'll go to the gym. Just go to the gym and just have fun, and don't worry about how fit you are. You will get there just by showing up. It's the same with video production. You just need to start creating content today. Doesn't have to be perfect. I make a lot of video for a living. I'm on YouTube every day, and I see all these amazing videos that other people are making. And then I click on their YouTube channel, and I scroll back 14 years, and I see their first videos, and you realize how much we improved just with practice. So it's really not that hard. By creating things consistently, that's going to tell the algorithms, hey, this person is serious. It's going to help get you more organic search results when people are looking for you. Got a little bit more time, a few more minutes. So when to hire somebody, right? Maybe you're doing this, you've been doing video production on your own, but you're ready to try to do something a little bit nicer looking. This might be a video for your website, something that is going to live on your website for a few years. That's kind of where you might get a production company involved. So, there are benefits to working with a professional. There's a lot of things we can do for you that make your life a little bit easier. Can help you with storytelling, scripting, can help you with, obviously the equipment is important. Coaching, this is actually one of the things I do. It can be a little intimidating to sit down in front of a camera, right? A lot of times you sit down and people are attacking you with microphones. There's a bright light in your face and you're thinking about your outfit, and all of a sudden it's like, what was I supposed to say? I've already completely forgotten. So helping you relax and just feel safe and comfortable in front of that lens is part of what I do as well. I edit videos all the time. I know what's going to cut together to look good for you and for your brand. And I can be thinking about what sound bites are actually going to work. What do we actually need, right? Wardrobe planning. I could do a whole talk on wardrobe. I don't want to pick on anybody today. So there's a little one-pager on my website. It's free. It's under the Q&A section. You're welcome to go download it. Or if you want, just message me and I can send it to you in an email. But just tips and tricks for how to dress for for video. I think most of the time muted, light, solid colors work really well. Simple patterns work really well. So yeah, that's a whole separate thing. But and then the post-production, right? That's the editing. When you're working with someone on Fiverr or one of these virtual people, that's a great way to create video if what you're doing is kind of a template, cut and dry, it's always the same every single time. So I think that's why it works well for a house tour. If you're creating something tailored to you and your brand, I think that's where it's nice to have somebody who's going to meet with you in person, connect with you, think about your story. It just makes a big difference to have somebody help you with those things. So some of the stuff I do, honestly, a lot of it is what I call promotional video. And that's just that 2 to 3 minute video. It's going to be something that you're probably not going to be making every single day, but every couple years, a little brand refresh. I think everybody should have this. Corporate style interview. So I'm going to go in and sit down in your space, your office, wherever you're working. We can get nice light on you and then have you come in, sit down, tell your story. Get your partners involved, other people on your team, if you're a broker. Sometimes we can even get clients involved if they have a success story and they want to share a testimonial of what it's like working with you. That can be really great as well to build your credibility. I then take all this footage, I look for the best sound bites, we trim it down to a nice, short, fast-moving 2 to 3 minute video. I can add extra footage, maybe drone shots of you and just different things that might cut together. Sometimes it's you working with a teammate or driving around town. I can also do things like storytelling for a local area. What is Crozet like? What's happening in Charlottesville? What's happening in Orange? These are all places we go and we work. Educational content, that's just another way to create things that can be a part of your marketing, your sales funnel. You're going to create content that helps educate the public on a topic. And to boost your credibility, it's a way of adding value to get people interested in working with you. Advertising, I've actually done a bunch of commercials for CAAR that are airing and have been airing on the local stations. So that is just about all I got. I think we got maybe a minute or two, a few minutes. Yeah. What kind of questions do y'all have?
But if you're doing a video on your own, you're like running into an open house or something,
Mm-hmm.
Like, is the selfie stick a thing? And then do you have a recommendation of how to film yourself without looking like you're holding something?
That's a great question. Yeah. So, right. I guess the model. No, that's a good question. Yeah. What I'm kind of suggesting, I guess, now would be this. And so you're kind of leaning into that look a little bit. The other option, though, is if you have somebody else with you, that would be probably my recommendation. And again, I think this mic is where that would be perfect. So a situation where you're talking to the camera, have a little extra audio, you could back up a little bit, put that iPhone, or even if it's an Android phone, in that sort of cinema mode. Again, a little bit of groundwork to figure out how to turn that on. But if you don't know how to do it, find a friend, call me, we can get it going for you. And then you can just look into that lens and walk around and talk, and I think it'll look really good. Yeah.
So no selfie stick.
Well, I mean, I don't want to talk you out of the selfie stick, but I think I'm not convinced you necessarily have to have it. Yeah. Some people do use them, though, yeah. I actually see people with these giant rigs for their phones all the time, and some of them are like, I'm not even sure what that's doing. Like, it's just you're holding the handles, just hold the phone. It's almost the same thing. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. 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 Any other questions?
What do you prefer to use for editing?
Yeah. If you are brave and you want to get into some editing, I've used all the big ones. Right now I'm using something called DaVinci Resolve Studio. Premiere Pro is the other really big one. It's a subscription with Adobe. I think it's like $20-something a month. That's probably the most popular and most common program right now. There's Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro, yeah, it's a great, simple program. Kind of simple, yeah, reasonably simple, yeah. But honestly, iMovie, a lot of these other ones.
iMovie seems pretty easy to use.
I got started with iMovie, actually. So you know what, for you, yeah, maybe iMovie, yeah.
Microsoft
Yeah.
iMovie for Windows.
There's actually now browser-based editing programs where you can log into a website and not even have to download anything. So industry is changing. It's pretty cool. A lot of things are happening. AI is revolutionizing the industry. That's a whole other topic. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, real quick. What was
Yeah.
the name of the mic that you used?
Oh, yeah. It was the DJI. Yep, DJI Mic 2.
DJI. Thank you.
Yeah.
One right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great little mic. It's awesome. It's actually recording internally right now, and then it's sending the other version to the phone. So I have a backup on my body, and then I have the actual recording. Mm-hmm. She's right. You know what? If you did want to take things up a notch from the phone itself, DJI is what most people will get use. They have some great little stabilizers. There's something called the Osmo. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's a great one. In fact, I've talked to some realtors who are using that too. So, how are we doing on time?
Perfect. We're,
Cool.
15 minutes till the next session.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Seth, so
Yeah,
much.
awesome. Thank y'all. Please stop by my booth if you haven't already. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, the next session will start in about 15 minutes.